When I describe my mental health, I always say it's like battling my other half or my demons on the inside. I know how good of a person I can be, and it's so hard to tell your brain to not be that person.
I became super depressed at the beginning of my sophomore year, to the point where I started to attend therapy at the Washington State Health Center. When I was at my worst, I didn't want to get out of bed.
Mental wellness is so important. It affects everything we do. It affects our outlook first thing in the morning. It affects our jump shot. It affects our ability to concentrate. It affects our interactions with people. It affects how we feel. And if we ignore that, we're ignoring this huge piece of ourselves. And I'm constantly telling the folks that I take care of, I'm going to take care of all of you. I'm not just going to look at your ankle or your knee. I want to take care of all of you. How are you feeling?
My family has a history of mental health issues, and I only really realized this in my teens. People who are conscious of their mental health issues don't like to show it. So we get really good at wearing a mask, like while you're out in class or while you're at work. You know, you're all smiles and talking to people, but when you're at home alone, that's when it really starts to hit.
I left for college 3 days after my high school graduation, so there was the shock right away of going from a kind of easy high school schedule going in and being like, all right, you're up at 6 a.m., you got workouts, class, everything. 3 days after I just finished high school, it was just all football and all school all the time, and that wears you down. It's not healthy.
In this 18, 19, 20-year-old time, it's a big transition. Folks will have feelings of guilt, worthlessness, difficulty with sleep.
I think sometimes people think that it's maybe a character flaw, or they're doing something wrong, or they're not tough enough, they're not strong enough. You know, for me, I think in a lot of ways it's helping them to recognize that this is really normal. It's really a very normal thing to struggle and to have a hard time. Every human goes through periods of times in their lives where they're struggling.
So I was diagnosed with depression my sophomore year of high school, and that was a tough time for me, and I did come to the realization, like, yeah, I need help. Like, I'm not doing this very well on my own, and so being able to reach out and ask for help and talk to somebody was huge for me.
It is okay to have mental health problems. It's okay to have anxiety and depression. It's actually way more common in our age group than you would think.
I think there's a good realization happening amongst young people and in America that talking about mental health doesn't equal mental illness. It's a treatable thing, like a sore throat or a headache. It's a diagnosis. It doesn't mean you're weak or that something's wrong with you.
Just knowing that it's okay to not be okay, I think is a huge thing, and that there is help, whether it starts with a friend or me, a random person you may not know, or your coach, or your best friend, a parent, anything. It's not a bad thing to just talk about it.
There's absolutely no way I could have battled my own mental health by myself.
I think a lot of us see strength as being able to manage our problems on our own. The real strength is coming from being able to say, I can't do this on my own, and I need that help.
To someone out there who might be feeling sad, feeling anxious, know that there are people out there who care and there is help. Reach out to a physician, reach out to a friend, reach out to a counselor, and get the help you need.